I came home from college to find my room given to my sister. My stuff was in trash bags, so I took everything and left a note. My mom's crying voicemail was intense. So picture this. I'm driving back home from state after my sophomore year, windows down in my beat-up Honda Civic, pumping some Taylor Swift because honestly, that girl gets it. I'm thinking about sleeping in my own bed for the first time in months, maybe hitting up some local spots with my high school crew. You know, the drill. Classic college kid coming home for winter break vibes. I pull into our driveway around 3 p.m. and everything looks normal. Same old suburban house with the slightly crooked mailbox my dad never fixed. Mom's Toyota is there, Grace's little Volkswagen Bug is parked where it always is. Nothing seems off at first glance. But the second I walk through that front door, I know something's different. The house has this weird energy, like when you walk into a room right after people were talking about you. Mom comes rushing out of the kitchen wearing her usual apron with flour all over it, and she's got this super forced smile plastered on her face. Hey honey, how was the drive? You look tired. Are you hungry? I made your favorite cookies. She's talking a mile a minute, which is never a good sign. Mom, chill. I'm fine. Where's Grace? I ask, dropping my duffel bag by the stairs. Oh, she's upstairs she's in the art room working on a project for her portfolio. Art room? Since when do we have an art room? I head upstairs to my room because honestly, all I want is to faceplant into my bed and take a solid nap. But when I get to my door, you know, the one with the little sign that says my name in those wooden letters I painted in middle school, the door's closed. Weird, because I always leave it open. I turn the handle and step inside, and I swear, my brain just stops working for a hot minute. My room, looks like a freaking art studio exploded in there. There are easels everywhere, canvases stacked against the walls, paint tubes scattered across my old desk. The smell of turpentine is so strong I actually gag a little. My twin bed with the galaxy sheets I picked out junior year, gone. My bookshelf with all my Harry Potter books and college textbooks, nowhere to be seen. The wall where I had my high school diploma and honor roll certificates, now covered with weird abstract paintings that honestly look like a toddler. Went crazy with finger paints. Grace is standing there in paint-splattered overalls, brush in hand, looking like she just saw a ghost, which fair enough because I probably look like I'm about to become one. Hey, she says, not making eye contact. You're back early. Early? Grace, where is my stuff? Where is literally everything I own? She starts fidgeting with her paintbrush, getting paint on her fingers. Mom and Dad said they told you about the room situation. What room situation? This is my room. That's when Mom appears in the doorway, still wearing that fake smile, but now it's more like a grimace. Sweetie, we can talk about this downstairs. Grace needs to finish her piece for her art scholarship application. Art scholarship? Grace has never mentioned wanting to go to college, let alone applying for scholarships. Last I checked, she was perfectly content working part-time at the local coffee shop and living at home rent-free. Update. Guys, I'm literally shaking as I type this. I just found out where they put my stuff and I'm honestly about to lose it. Should I call them out right now or wait to see what other surprises they have for me? This is so messed up. I follow Mom downstairs, my heart pounding like I just ran a marathon. Dad's sitting in his recliner watching ESPN and he barely looks up when we walk into the living room. Dad, where's my stuff? He finally looks at me, and there's this expression on his face like I'm being unreasonable. It's in the garage. We packed everything up nice and neat. The garage. They put my entire life in the garage like I'm some kind of storage unit situation. I march out there, and sure enough, there are 4 black trash bags lined up against the wall next to Dad's tool bench. 4 trash bags. 20 years of my life. Reduced to 4 hefty bags like I'm moving out of a dorm room. I untie the first bag and almost start crying right there. My clothes are all wrinkled and smell like motor oil. My books are at the bottom, probably damaged from being under all the weight. My framed photos from high school graduation, my certificates from debate team, my academic awards, everything's just thrown in there like garbage. The second bag has my bedding, my pillows, even my stuffed animal from when I was little. The third bag is random stuff from my desk, pens, notebooks, my jewelry box, my laptop charger. The fourth bag is my winter clothes and shoes. I'm standing there in the garage, surrounded by trash bags full of my entire existence, and I just start laughing. Not happy laughing, that scary kind of laughing when you're so angry you don't know what else to do. Mom appears behind me. Honey, I know this seems sudden, but Grace really needed the space. She's so talented, and the lighting in that room is perfect for her artwork. Plus, you're away at college most of the time anyway. Most of the time? Mom, this is my home. This is where I come back to. That's been my room since I was literally 5 years old. Well, you're an adult now. You don't really need a room here anymore. I stare at her like she just told me the sky is purple. I don't need a room. I'm 20 years old and I'm still in college. Where exactly am I supposed to stay when I come home? You can sleep on the couch, or we can set up an air mattress in the basement. An air mattress in the basement. Like I'm some random cousin crashing for the weekend. That's when it all clicks. This isn't about Grace needing space for art. This is about them making it crystal clear that I'm not really part of this family anymore. I'm just a visitor now, someone who gets the leftover space after everyone else's needs are met. I think about all the times growing up when Grace got everything she wanted. When she was 12 and decided she wanted to play violin, Mom and Dad bought her a $800 instrument and paid for private lessons. When I wanted to join debate team, they said I had to get a part-time job to pay for the tournament fees myself. When Grace crashed her car junior year because she was texting, They bought her a newer one. When I needed money for college application fees, they made me work extra shifts at Target to cover it. Grace gets an entire room converted into an art studio. I get trash bags in the garage. I look at Mom standing there, and for the first time in my life, I see her clearly. She's not looking at me like I'm her daughter. She's looking at me like I'm a problem to be managed. You know what? You're absolutely right. I don't need a room here. Update. I just made a decision that's probably going to change everything. My hands are literally shaking, but I know I have to do this. Has anyone else ever felt like they were just done with their family's nonsense? Because that's exactly where I'm at right now. I spend the next hour loading those trash bags into my Honda. It takes 3 trips because my car is basically a shoebox on wheels, but I get everything packed in. Mom keeps hovering around, trying to make small talk like nothing weird is happening. So, how are your grades this semester? Are you still majoring in English? You know, your cousin Sarah switched to business and she's doing really well. I just keep loading bags and don't respond. What's the point? She clearly doesn't actually care about my grades or my major or anything else about my life. Grace comes downstairs as I'm loading the last bag. Hey, I'm sorry about the room thing. I didn't know you were coming home today. Grace, when did you think I was coming home? Christmas is literally next week, she shrugs. I don't know. I figured you'd probably want to stay at school with your friends or something. Stay at school over Christmas break, when the dorms are closed and everyone goes home to their families. Yeah, well, apparently I was wrong about a lot of things. I go back inside to grab my phone charger and a few other random things, and that's when I decide to write the note. I find a piece of paper in the kitchen junk drawer and grab a pen. Mom, Dad, and Grace, I get the message loud and clear. Since I apparently don't live here anymore and you've made it obvious that my presence is optional, I'm making it easy for everyone. Don't worry about the room situation. Grace can have it permanently. I won't be coming back. Thanks for making it crystal clear where I stand in this family. Have a great life. I leave it on the kitchen counter right next to Mom's coffee mug. That says, World's Best Mom. The irony is not lost on me. I walk out without saying goodbye. Nobody tries to stop me. The drive back to campus takes 2 hours, and I spend most of it alternating between crying and being absolutely furious. By the time I get back to the dorm, I've made a decision. I'm done being treated like a second-class citizen in my own family. My roommate Emma is still there packing up her stuff for winter break, and she takes one look at me and knows something's up. Girl, what happened? You look like you've seen a ghost. I tell her everything while we drag my trash bags up 3 flights of stairs. Emma is appropriately outraged on my behalf, which honestly makes me feel a little better. That's absolutely insane. Who does that to their own kid? Apparently my parents. So what are you going to do for Christmas? That's when I realize I have nowhere to go. The dorm's close tomorrow and I can't afford a hotel for 2 weeks. I start to panic a little, but then Emma suggests I could come home with her to Pennsylvania. My parents would totally be cool with it. We always have random people over for holidays anyway. But then I remember my Aunt Lisa, my dad's sister, who lives about an hour away. She's always been the cool aunt who actually listens when I talk and remembers things about my life. I give her a call and explain the situation. Are you kidding me? Of course you can stay here. I have a guest room and everything. Your Uncle Mike is going to be so mad when he hears about this. Relief floods through me. At least someone in my family actually gives a darn about me. I turn off my phone because I'm not ready to deal with whatever messages are probably already waiting for me. I just want one night to process everything without having to defend my decision to anyone. The next morning, I wake up to 17 missed calls and about 30 text messages. Most of them are from Mom, a few from Dad, and surprisingly, several from Grace. Mom's messages start out concerned. Honey, where are you? Please call me back. Then they get frustrated. This is ridiculous. You're being way too dramatic about this. And finally, they get mean. You're acting like a spoiled brat. This is exactly why we didn't think you were mature enough to handle this situation. Dad's messages are more straightforward. Come home and get your attitude adjusted. You're embarrassing the family with this childish behavior. Grace's messages are a mix of apologies and guilt trips. I really didn't mean for this to happen. I thought you knew about the room change. Can we please talk? Mom's been crying all morning. I delete all of them without responding. The voicemail from Mom is what really gets to me, though. She's crying, which I've maybe heard twice in my entire life, and she's going on about how I'm breaking the family apart and being selfish and how Grace is devastated that I'm mad at her. But here's the thing. I'm not mad at Grace. I'm disappointed, sure, but I'm not mad. Grace has always been the golden child, and she's used to getting whatever she wants. She probably genuinely didn't think about how this would affect me because she's never had to think about how her actions affect other people. I'm mad at my parents for treating me like my feelings don't matter. I'm mad that they made this huge decision about my space without even talking to me. I'm mad that they packed up my entire life like I was some random tenant who didn't pay rent. But mostly, I'm hurt. I'm hurt that the people who are supposed to love me unconditionally clearly see me as expendable. Update. The aftermath is getting intense. I've been at my aunt's house for a few days now, and apparently my parents are freaking out. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing. But here's the thing. I just found out something that changes everything, and I'm honestly not sure how to process it. Should I tell you guys what I discovered? My Aunt Lisa has been amazing. She let me vent for hours that first night, made me hot chocolate, and didn't try to minimize my feelings or tell me I was overreacting. She just listened. Your parents have always had this weird dynamic with you girls, she tells me over breakfast the next morning. Ever since you were little, they've treated Grace like she's fragile, and you like you're supposed to be the responsible one. What do you mean? Honey, You've been taking care of yourself since you were basically a kid, working part-time jobs to pay for your own stuff, getting yourself to school activities, managing your own college applications. Meanwhile, Grace has never had to do anything for herself. She's not wrong. I got my first job at 15 because I wanted to buy my own clothes instead of wearing Grace's hand-me-downs. I saved up for my own car, paid for my own insurance, covered my own gas. Grace didn't get her license until she was 18, and my parents bought her car outright. The thing is, Aunt Lisa continues, they've convinced themselves that they're helping Grace by doing everything for her, and they've convinced themselves that they're helping you by making you independent. But really, they're just playing favorites and trying to justify it. That afternoon, Uncle Mike comes home from work, and he's absolutely fuming after Aunt Lisa fills him in. I'm going to call your father and give him a piece of my mind. Please don't. I just want to be left alone right now. But Uncle Mike is Dad's older brother, and apparently he's been wanting to have this conversation for years. I can hear him on the phone in the kitchen, and he's not holding back. Are you out of your mind, Tom? She's your daughter, not some random boarder you can just kick out when it's convenient. I can't hear Dad's side of the conversation, but Uncle Mike's responses tell me everything I need to know. I don't care if she's away at college. That's still her home. No, Tom. She's 20 years old, not 30. Grace is an adult, too. She can figure out her own space. You what? You told her she could sleep on the couch? What is wrong with you? After he hangs up, Uncle Mike comes and sits down next to me on the couch. Your dad says you're being dramatic and that you'll come around when you get hungry enough. Hungry enough? He's cutting off your college fund. Says if you want to act like an adult, you can pay your own way. I just stare at him. Of course. Of course that's their next move. They can't control me with guilt, so now they're going to try to control me with money. But here's what they don't know. I've been planning for this possibility since sophomore year. I've been applying for scholarships, looking into financial aid options, researching cheaper schools I could transfer to if needed. I've been working summers and saving money because I had a feeling this day might come. Uncle Mike, can I use your computer? I need to check something. I log into my email and there it is. The email I've been waiting for since October. The subject line makes my heart race. Congratulations. Merit Scholarship Award. I got it. I got the full academic scholarship that covers tuition, room, board, and books for the next 2 years. The one I applied for but didn't think I had a shot at getting. I start crying right there at Uncle Mike's desk, but they're happy tears this time. What is it, sweetheart? I got a full scholarship. I don't need their money anymore. Uncle Mike whoops so loud that Aunt Lisa comes running from the kitchen thinking something's wrong. When I tell her about the scholarship, she starts crying. Too. I'm so proud of you. You did this all on your own. That night, I compose a text message to my parents. Dad, thanks for letting me know about the college fund. Just so you know, I received a full merit scholarship that covers everything, so I won't be needing your financial support anymore. I'll be staying with Aunt Lisa for the rest of break and heading back to school after New Year's. Please don't contact me again unless it's an emergency. I send it and then immediately block all their numbers. The next few days are actually pretty great. Aunt Lisa takes me shopping for some new clothes to replace the ones that got damaged in the trash bags. Uncle Mike helps me set up a savings account at a different bank so my parents can't see my finances. We watch Christmas movies, play board games, and eat way too much Chinese takeout. On Christmas Eve, Aunt Lisa hands me a present. I know this isn't the Christmas you were planning, but I want you to know that you have family who loves you. Inside the box is a beautiful silver necklace with a small pendant that says, "Stronger than yesterday." That's exactly how I feel, I tell her, and I mean it. I find out later from my cousin Jake, Uncle Mike's son, that the drama at my parents' house has been epic. Apparently, Grace lost interest in the art studio about a week after I left. Turns out when something is handed to you instead of earned, it doesn't mean as much. The room is basically empty now except for a few half-finished paintings. Mom and Dad have been fighting constantly about the whole situation. Dad keeps insisting they did the right thing and that I'll come crawling back when I realize how hard it is to make it on my own. Mom apparently keeps staring at my empty room and crying. Grace has been texting Jake asking if he's heard from me, but I'm not ready for that conversation yet. The best part? Other family members have started reaching out. Apparently word has gotten around about what happened and everyone is team me. My grandparents on Mom's side are disappointed in my parents. My cousin Sarah, the one Mom is always comparing me to, sent me a long message saying she thinks my parents are completely wrong and offering to help if I need anything. Even some of my parents' friends have apparently made comments about how they can't believe Mom and Dad would treat me that way. The whole thing has backfired spectacularly on them. When I get back to campus in January, I feel like a completely different person. I'm not angry anymore. I'm free. I don't have to worry about living up to anyone's expectations or walking on eggshells around my family's dysfunction. I move into a single room in a different dorm, and I decorate it exactly how I want. I put up photos of me and my real friends, hang up my academic awards, and create a space that actually feels like home. I throw myself into my studies and my social life. I join the campus newspaper, sign up for a creative writing class, and start dating this really sweet guy from my statistics class. For the first time in my life, I'm not constantly stressed about family drama or trying to prove that I deserve love and respect. Spring semester flies by, and I'm genuinely happy. My grades are the best they've ever been. I have friends who actually care about me, and I'm finally figuring out who I am when I'm not constantly trying to earn approval from people who were never going to give it anyway. Around March, I get a text from a number I don't recognize. It turns out to be Grace, texting from a friend's phone because I blocked her. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I wanted you to know that I've been thinking about everything that happened. I realize now how messed up the whole situation was. I should have stood up for you. I was being selfish and I'm sorry. I miss you. I read the message several times and honestly, I feel nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just emptiness. Grace had 18 years to stand up for me, to recognize that our parents treated us differently, to acknowledge that the dynamic in our family was unfair. She chose not to until it affected her too. I don't respond to the message. I don't block the number, but I don't respond either. A few weeks later, I get a call from Aunt Lisa. She tells me that my parents have been asking about me, wanting to know how I'm doing, if I'm struggling financially, if I've learned my lesson yet. What did you tell them? I told them you're thriving, that you're happier than I've ever seen you, that you're doing amazing in school and you have a great group of friends and that you're basically succeeding at everything you put your mind to. How did they react to that? Your mom got quiet, your dad got angry. I think they were expecting you to come back with your tail between your legs, begging for forgiveness. But that's never going to happen. I'm not the same person who drove away from that house in December with her life packed in trash bags. I'm someone who knows her worth now, someone who won't accept being treated as less than. My life is full of people who choose to be in it, not people who tolerate my presence when it's convenient. I have friends who celebrate my successes instead of minimizing them. I have professors who recognize my potential and push me to achieve more. I have a boyfriend who thinks I'm amazing exactly as I am. As I'm writing this, it's been almost 6 months since I left home. I'm registered for fall classes. I have a great summer internship lined up, and I'm looking at apartments for next year with my best friend Emma. My scholarship covers everything. I have a small savings account growing, and for the first time in my life, I feel completely in control of my own destiny. I won't lie. There are moments when I miss the idea of having a family, but I don't miss the reality of the family I had. I don't miss feeling like I had to earn love. I don't miss being treated like my feelings don't matter. I don't miss being the responsible one while Grace got to be the precious one. Sometimes, I wonder if my parents will ever understand what they lost. Probably not. People who are capable of throwing their daughter's entire life into trash bags and telling her to sleep on the couch probably aren't capable of the kind of self-reflection that real change requires. But that's their loss, not mine. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, surrounded by people who see me for who I really am and love me because of it, not in spite of it. And honestly, I've never been happier in my entire life.